Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, beer drinkers.
Get ready for an all-new experience in information exchange and beer culture.
Your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers from around the globe
right to your home.
You're not just listening to broadcasters, it's the Brewcasters
on the Brewing Network.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Good evening.
What a day.
What a week.
Welcome to the Brewing Network. You're tuned into the Brewcast, as usual, right here on our Sunday time slot. Doc's just rolling in. If I could ever turn his microphone on. I got all sorts of new equipment in the studio today, Doc, and I don't know how to use it. Let's see. How about that one?
That one? Nope.
Yeah, there you are.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy.
That's better.
Welcome to what is going to become known as the shortest show in Brewing Network history, Doc.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we weren't sure if Doc was going to make it. I know you said you were going to make it, but things happen, you know. So, and it was more the way things have been going today that I was like, something's going to happen. Doc's going to get a flat. I don't know. Our scheduled guest is stuck on a boat. Don't ask me how that happens, but he's stuck on a boat.
Yeah, I just talked to him on the phone. I could hardly understand him because it was so windy, and you know how it is when you talk to somebody with a cell phone and he's outside. It goes like this.
Yeah.
So he actually was on a boat. And I'd asked him, so Christian, what do you think? The show starts at 5 and it's 4:30 when I'm talking to him. Well, we're just, cruising the bay. I don't really know who to ask. It's a nice day.
Good for you.
I'm sorry, you guys, but I call you when I'm off the boat.
Okay.
He's a really nice person, and it's so unfortunate he's not around tonight.
I think we're pretty low on people's priority scales in the last month, Doc.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
What happened? Is our reputation preceding us? Is that what's going on here?
I don't know. Maybe you're just not schmoozing enough.
Tell you what, if I got $1 for every time I got to schmooze people to do this show, I'd stop charging you guys for the 1 Hour Boil podcast. Because I'd be a rich guy. Well, so here's what we're going to do. So we had Christian Olfabrikken from the Olfabrikken Brewery in Denmark. He was scheduled to come do the show with us. Met him last week at the GABF. He was real excited to do the show. He was also hammered. So I was like, I said, listen, I know you sound excited to do the show right now, but I know how these things work. So you got to give me your information so I can call you tomorrow when you're sober and ask you again about doing the show. And he did. And then he said, yeah, okay, so I'm all set to do the show. And
now he's on a boat.
Now he's on a boat. So... Well, it's Fleet Week here in San Francisco, which is pretty exciting. The whole bay is just speckled with ships and boats. The Blue Angels are flying around out there. So it's a nice day to be on the bay, I guess. I could have stayed out there.
Me too.
Gone on a ship.
Then I'd be him by myself?
Yeah, just be Doc's show. So we're not going to do the Danish Brewer show. I was excited. It's going to be our first international brewer that was going to have done our show. First. Because Oz doesn't count.
It would have been. That's awesome.
Oz doesn't count.
Yeah. So now what we've got in store for you is, nothing. This is going to be a real short show. We got a couple of things to get through. I'm still, like I said, I hope the audio is coming out all right. We placed some equipment in the studio. Can you hear in your headphones okay, Doc? Do you need more or less volume?
No, you're coming through fine. Mine doesn't sound like I'm coming through at all.
You're coming through good.
Okay.
Same here.
Then we're good.
And you're good. Okay. Put in this new volume control thing so everybody can have their own volume in their headphones. Because I have mine really loud all the time, and because I'm deaf. But that bothers everybody else. Like in the studio, everyone's like, "Man, can you turn these down?" And I'm like, "No," because then I can't hear anything anybody says.
Can you crank me up again?
See?
I can hardly hear you. Is it getting me? Oh yeah, here we go.
Is that better?
That's a different feeling. Let's do the show.
It's more powerful.
Getting phone calls too. There's this guy, Philip, Skyped me like 5 times in the last 5 minutes.
Well, you might as well take it. It's not really that we're on a tight schedule tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, we got plenty of time, right? 888-401-BEER is the number. We are going to talk a little bit about the GABF. I think that'll be a exciting conversation we can have for you because we had a great time going to that, and we got a few stories for you. So we're going to do that. We're going to taste Daniela's beer during the show today.
Yes.
It should be all conditioned and ready to go. And a couple other things in store for you, too. Hey, Philip, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I just calling you back because you've been blowing up my Skype. What's happening, brother?
Well, I think I got a lag here, so I was hearing just a while ago. Well, I'm pretty good.
You been drinking today, Philip?
Yeah.
What have you been having?
Well,
are you the Brazilian, Philip?
Yeah.
Oh, we have Brazilians in the house now.
Oh, that's right. I read your story in the forum there. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Welcome, Philip.
Thank you.
You guys got internet in Brazil, huh? Hey, tell me about... Go ahead.
I went to an exchange program. I lived for a year in Indiana.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, back in '99.
Why Indiana?
Well, I don't choose the state. They choose it for me.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
See, that sucks. Philip's like, he's signing up for this thing. He's like, man, I'm going to be laying on the beach in California. He gets shipped off to Indiana. You're like, man, did I make a mistake, huh?
Well, it was fine.
Yeah.
Now, thinking about now, I would definitely be in California or something like that, but then I didn't mind. I lived in the cornfields.
Well, I'll tell you, though, the problem with being in California is that sometimes people get stuck on boats in California.
Yeah, out on the bay.
That doesn't happen in Indiana.
No.
Hey, so tell me about how it is to get ingredients for you out there. Do you have to go to your local brewery to get ingredients to brew?
Well, there's a local brewery in my city.
Yeah.
And, they were really nice to me, but it's a pain in the ass to be asking every single time for ingredients.
Yeah.
So I have to buy over the internet.
Do you?
I actually bought my first time, and I didn't even knew you guys over Northern Brewer.
Oh, yeah.
And they sent it to me.
That's good.
It's good.
So you got to wait all the time. Like Doc, he's lucky. He just gets to when he wants to brew, he just drives over and grabs all his stuff.
It's easy.
You got to plan it out.
Yeah, that's about what I'm gonna ask. Is that I brew every single time with dry yeast, and my question is there a way that I can buy some liquid yeast and it reach me in some, very few days so I can brew?
Yes. I know that B3 will do it for you. For an extra charge, they'll actually put cold packs in the box so that it keeps it cold on the shipping, but you got to pay a little extra to get it shipped faster, You can't do like the ground shipping cuz it'll take too long.
It's okay.
So
probably even if it comes back and it's probably not all going to be dead, you could probably culture it back up.
Yeah.
And just keep culture.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I go to morebeer.com and order yourself up some White Labs out of there.
Okay.
Or there's the other one, too. I mean, you can do the Smack Pack from Y Yeast, too. That's liquid. You know, same difference. So, yeah, do that and just ask them. Like I said, they do a cold pack. So you just got to ask them for that, and they'll charge you a little extra and then ship it off to you.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, what are you drinking today?
Well, actually, I'm drinking one of the expensive beers here in Brazil.
Really?
We don't have that many varieties of beer here, so this is one of the few that goes a little different from that Pilsner thing with no hops.
Okay. And what's it called?
It's a red ale.
Okay.
It's from Baden-Baden.
All right.
And it's a 9.5 red ale. It's pretty nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Doc, you ever had Brazilian beer?
No.
Not even one, no?
Philip, what means expensive in Brazil? How much do you pay for this beer?
For this one, I paid $8.50 reais which would be $4.
$4?
22 ounce.
That's not bad. That's about what we pay. You know, we pay $3 something for a 22 ounce here.
Yeah, but everybody in the Bay Area earns like $712 billion a day.
Everybody but me.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living down there in Brazil, Philip?
Well, I was majoring in physics, but I dropped out from college.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'm
Too much partying?
I'm trying to get what?
How come? Too much partying?
Nah, kind of. It's a pretty hard course.
Oh.
So I'm
Slacker.
I'm trying to get into chemistry now, so I'll be a brewmaster.
Attaboy. All right, Philip, thanks for the call, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, we'll see you. Good old Philip from Brazil.
That's great.
Yeah, he just signed up to our forum. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like getting the new international listeners. Now, there's a Danish listener who sent us the information about Christian's supposed to be here today. Is he in the chat room with you, Danielle?
Which one? The Danish one? Yeah.
Is he pissed that Christian's not going to be here on the show?
Jens? Nah, he laughed, actually.
He's like, that's what we do.
That's how we are.
We
Never trust us.
We get stuck on boats.
Oh, man. They all say you sound like shit.
I do. Yeah, I feel like shit, too.
You look like shit, too.
All right.
You smell like shit, by the way.
I'm glad we've got all that cleared up.
Doc doesn't look too happy either.
I feel like I've been run over. I don't feel bad. I'm just tired.
Yeah, so we went to the NCHF this weekend. It's our annual trip, which makes this our annual hangover show. And, although you were out pretty early last night, Doc, you didn't tie one on too
No, I could not drink any more beer.
You were just done.
I think I was drinking at least 12 hours straight.
Wow.
And people were still handing me stuff at the Dead Palate Society. And I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
Yeah. Yeah, because you woke up Saturday morning and you were up for like 5 minutes before you cracked open a Duvel.
Yeah, I know.
And then you had us all drinking Duvel at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, bagels and Duvel.
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I got cranking.
And then we just drank for the rest of the day, and then I stayed at the Dead Palate Society and drank until I was like the last one there, because I don't have as many brain cells as you do, Doc. And
I would have liked to have stayed, but
yeah.
Just wasn't in the cards.
They're passing around a lot of beer, a lot of different beer, and someone spiked my beer too.
Yeah, I just want to say that. So here's the story. I'm laying in the cabin, Dr. Scott's sleeping, our roommate Chad's sleeping, I'm sleeping on my own little bed, both of them snoring like crazy, a lot of gas in the room. So you come in, and I woke up by you coming in, because I've never seen you that way.
That's pretty drunk.
First impression was that you ran against the door before you actually opened and unlocked the door. So just hear this boom. So Justin is here, nice.
Yeah.
So you come inside, you run against the table first of all.
I did?
You did.
I don't remember any of this.
Oh my gosh, I was watching you. You were, well, more than hammered actually. So tell us what happened to your beer with the cousin.
So this guy, he's got this vial, and he's got like 180 proof vodka or something in it.
Yeah, he goes, here, try this. And I did. That was another beer, and I took a big gulp of this, and it's like, holy shit.
Did you take a big gulp?
Oh, yeah.
You got high as a kite, didn't you?
I think that's what put me down.
Yeah.
But
so he's got what it is, it's 180 proof vodka, and he's soaking a nugget of weed in there.
Cousin.
Yeah. And he's I don't know how long it's been soaking, but it's supposed to take out all the oil, the resin.
What did he call it? The Green Ghost or something like
Something,
that?
man. So late at night at the Dead Palate Society, he pulls out, he's like, here, I'm going to put a little bit in everybody's beer. It's like a drop. And at first I'm like, nah, man, no, I'm fine, but then I think about it, I'm like, well, what's a drop? Who cares? And I was drunk. Well, this guy, he gives everybody a drop until he gets to my glass, and he dumps like half of it in there. Like, I got like 20 drops of this stuff into my glass. So, nothing happens. I'm asleep shortly thereafter. I didn't notice anything necessarily last night. But this morning, Doc, and like all day, I'm pretty sure I was high. Like, I'm pretty sure I was high all day.
Pretty sure you're still high.
You slept all the way home.
I did. Like, 5 minutes after we left, and then for the 3-hour drive, I was done. I was out.
Yeah.
The whole way. And I'm telling you, this guy, like, he roofied me with the cousin.
Did you check yourself afterwards?
Well, it's a good thing I left right afterward, I'm thinking. Because, like, why would he give everybody else a drop, but really dump it into mine?
Was it a guy or a girl?
It was a guy.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Was it not one of those sluts hanging out?
There weren't any sluts.
Really?
No.
Was there girls?
I don't think so. It was a bunch of dudes at it should be called the Dude Palate Society.
Yeah.
Not the
Pretty
Dead
much.
Palate. The Dead Palate Society is this thing where late in the evening, they just pull out all the beers they've ever had in their life and
Old crusty things and experimental stuff, and
yeah.
everybody sits around the table.
Like one beer, a lot of these are in champagne bottles. One beer, they mixed together everything that was left over from last year's NCHF and put it all into one bottle and aged it.
And then re-fermented it, yeah.
How
Yeah.
did that taste?
It was pretty disgusting.
It sounds nasty to me.
So Rambo.
I finished it.
My God.
That, and I don't even know what else they pull out. Like, just tons of different beers, and they're just handing them out, and hey.
Okay, what can you do? I just can't believe that you got roofied by a guy. Way to feed the image, dude.
I know.
Do you know what happened between you being so drunk there and coming back to the cabin? Do you think you went back straight, or
Yeah, no, I
how come
remember.
your fly was open, for example?
Because I peed outside.
How come you didn't wear any underwear when you got to sleep?
Come on, now you're just making up stories. No, I remember I left right away, and I stumbled back, and I was actually at the point, I haven't been this drunk in a while, I was doing like the wavy stand.
Yeah.
Where you're like falling over.
Wobbling.
Yeah, I was wobbling. And I was trying not to look like I was wobbling, because I'm like, hey, I'm a professional. I can't be looking like a drunk here. So I'm doing the old I just meant to step backwards thing every time I about fall over. And anyway, no, I just stumbled back to the cabin, and I was out pretty quick. I just kind of upset that the guy roofied me. And I kind of, I didn't for 1 second think that I'd wake up stoned,
Yeah, I woke you up, and you sat up,
Yeah.
and then you got dressed, and then you just kind of slumped back down, went back to sleep.
Yeah. It wasn't even enjoyable. Like, I remember when I used to get stoned, I liked it. I didn't like this at all, man. I just felt like a retard. So what are you going to do? So that's our NCHF story.
A lot of good beer, though.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a good event.
What was your favorite beer, Doc? You remember? You have one?
Yeah, there's the white chocolate porter or something like that. That was pretty good. And Rochelle's beer. She's entering in the Queen of Beers.
Oh, yeah? Did you sample that, Daniela? So you
No,
know what
I
your
didn't.
competition's like?
No,
That's pretty good beer.
didn't sample it. My favorite was the chocolate stout weenies. That's where I spent my time.
Yeah, all these homebrewers, they bring in a bunch of food, too, so that's pretty cool. You're walking around to their booths, all these homebrew clubs, and you're tasting the beer, and most of them have food out for you, too, so there was all different kind of things, and yeah, somebody had stout baked weenies, you know?
That was great.
A lot of homemade cheese.
Yeah, that was good. Homemade cheese,
Yeah.
fantastic.
A turkey leg. That was good too.
Bub, what's happening, brother?
So did you totally eat Cheetos all morning?
I know, I did. I found myself craving Fritos, actually. I just got done before the show with a bag of Fritos. And I don't really eat junk like that usually, but yeah.
But you did.
Oh, man. You should see the chat room, dude.
Hey, you gotta turn up your microphone or something. I got you cranked
Oh,
over here.
my
There you go. Why, what are they saying?
Well, yeah. About how your ass is bleeding. It's okay.
Like, all right, put yourself in this guy's shoes. Like, I'm trying to figure out why he would spike me like that. Like,
because you're hot.
See, Justin, he's not that hot.
Maybe because you told him no first, and he had to
I mean,
get you back.
Bub, you got to do something about your connection, man. I can't hear
look
you.
like Doc?
Did he look like Doc? I remember he's taller than I am.
Expect from him, man.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hang up on you, Bub. I can't hear anything you're saying. Call me back on something that works, will you? Yeah, you know what I'm saying though? Because he literally gave everybody a drop, and then like just overpoured into mine. Like maybe he just thought I'd be into it, like like Justin likes to get high or something. So here we'll give him a little extra. But that stuff
did it look like he did it on purpose, or he just slipped and? Oops.
Oh no, he did it on purpose. Yeah, definitely. And you know what it is about? It's like you've eaten brownies and stuff, Doc. Like you know, back in the day. There's something about eating the cousin that it has a much different effect than smoking it. So, you know what I mean? Like it's a deeper stone when you eat, and
you just kind of want to lay around,
and it lasts longer.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, caller, you're on the air.
All right, I'm back.
All right. So help me figure this out, Bub. Like, why did the guy give me extra?
Well, you do have a pretty mouth.
Somebody else asked me, he's like, did he tell you have a pretty mouth? He didn't. He wasn't hitting on me. He just, I don't know. I look like I needed to get stoned or something, I guess.
It did the trick, didn't it?
You know, I've seen you in like these public events, and you are kind of quiet normally.
Yeah.
And, unlike on the radio, which is like a total dichotomy. So, you know, maybe he wanted to chat you up a little bit.
I guess, yeah, he's like, maybe figured there must be something wrong. See, a lot of people do that, too. You know, it's not that we're not ourselves on the air, but it's a different thing. Like, you know, we're here to entertain and stuff. So people who see me, if I'm quiet, like, everybody thinks there's something wrong. Yeah, they're like, hey.
Stoned.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they'll be like, hey, man, are you all right? Are you down? And I'm like, nah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I just, you know.
Yeah, you have a tendency to hang in the back of the room.
Yeah, I like to hide out. So, yeah, maybe you're right, Bub. Maybe the guy's like, oh, there must be something wrong with Justin. I better get him stoned.
Yeah.
Is this some guy you knew?
No.
Or is it just some like random guy that you're taking drinks from?
No, I had met him earlier there, and he's a listener, and he's a chef, and he's a cool guy, you know, and like we hooked up.
He gave you dope?
And he came to, hey, how much cooler does it get? Yeah, so I kind of knew him, but I just met him at the festival, you know what I mean? And then he was sort of running the Dead Palate Society, too. He was getting out a lot of the beers for everybody. And then just toward the end, he wanted to, you know, spike it with the cuz, you know?
Yeah, I did.
You thought it would last until the show, so he could hear you really fucked up.
Yeah, and I tell you, so I get home this morning, you know, Doc and I leave pretty early. Got to get back here to do the other show, too. And I come in here, I sit down in the studio because I got to get some prep done. And I can't do anything. Like, I'm spaced out. I'm staring at the screen for 10 minutes. And and it takes me 10 minutes to realize that I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there and staring at the screen. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because I was baked, man.
I don't like you when you're baked.
Plus, you didn't get much sleep either.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but usually that doesn't affect him too much. He has another beer. Like by now, he would be drinking a beer.
Yeah.
He's having nothing.
Yeah.
Same with you, Doc.
Yeah.
I'm having like.
Doc, you sound like crap. What's up, man?
I feel like I didn't even sleep last night. I don't feel hungover. I don't feel bad. I just if I laid down, I just go right to sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a beer.
Exactly.
Maybe we should try my beer.
Wow, we need like substitute hosts. The only one that sounds normal is Daniela.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
You want to do the show, Bub? I'll just turn you up, and Doc and I are going to take a nap.
I'll get Push on the line too, and we'll have a good time.
Do it. Butcher's Sunday, you know?
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Yeah. All right, Bub. Thanks, brother.
All right, bye.
See ya. Yeah, I'm sure we do sound terrible. This is definitely one archive I'm not going to listen to. I'll tell you that. The shortest TBN show ever. Don't bother listening.
Oh, my God.
You've got mail.
Kick it.
All right, I do have some feedback that came in. And a lot of it is about us missing shows, like we went to the JBF and stuff. This show we're doing today isn't going to make them much happier.
No. I waited 2 weeks for this.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. It says, hey, what's up with all the vacations? I need TBN, damn it. You guys get us hooked on all your awesome beer talk and then take all these vacations. What the fuck? here's the deal. There's obviously a little bit of talent over there. So you guys need to put some shows on every day, he says. I can only listen to the archives over and over so many times. You got the Jameel Show, the Brewcasters, Lunch Meat, and Push and the Ass Clown Show. Maybe just double up everyone's airtime, 2 shows per week, and now you'll have a full schedule. And if we air it live, then he'll be there. Keep up the good work. Love your shows. That's from San Diego Life. P.S. I would like to hear Push and Sausage get fired on the air. And someone dying on the air would be cool, too. I'm in agreement about both of those things.
Snuff radio?
Yeah, I can't double up our air schedule around here. You imagine what Jameel would do if I went to Jameel and was like, hey, Jay-Z, I need you to do another show for us.
Yeah.
Guy would just have to move in here, you know? This guy's pretty demanding. He wants us all to do 2 shows a week.
He's on tomorrow, isn't he?
Jameel, yeah, he's on tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
Doing Scottish beers, I think, tomorrow. Should be a good show.
Yeah, he doesn't mean one of those.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, I'll add programming as I can, but, you know, there's only so much we can do. There's only so much working for free a brother can do, you know?
That's what you think tonight. You have tons of plans for the future, though. But tonight you don't think of those.
Yeah, it's true. I have all these different shows planned.
You have all those different shows planned out and all those different things.
And here I am telling this guy to piss off.
You're terrible tonight.
I don't want to talk about it.
You are terrible.
All right, this next one comes in and it says, Justine, you know meat show having, beer festival attending, drinking less than a girl, Vinny puppet humping, JP blue ball making, over-the-top FM DJ wannabe. What the hell? How do you expect us to get drunk on Fridays and Sundays if you're too busy flapping your fairy wings around the country, making people think that brewing has gone totally pink?
Brewing gone pink.
I don't know what has been going on behind the scenes, and it's none of my business, but shit, man, we need to hear some more shows. My wife is already tired of hearing me bitch about the lack of them. Time to put on your big boy underwear and commit to the show. Let Daniela drive back so you can get home in time for the next show. Daniela, you need to you need to bow up on this little bitch that you call Justine and run the show. Hope to hear both shows again soon. Enough of the partying. You better make something good out of this trip. If not, there could be a chat room lynching.
Ooh. That's an obvious threat.
Says get back on the air soon. Signed, Some Drunk Mofo. Yeah, people don't like it when we don't do shows. I can't wait to the emails I'm going to get this week. Because I'll tell you what, we're out of here in about half an hour. So, all right, here's a good one. I'll throw in a good one. Hey, Justin, you magnificent specimen of a man.
Ooh.
Starts. And then he says, no, not like that. I don't mean that. I just want to say thanks. I just opened up iTunes, and what do I see? It's a podcast, but not just any podcast. I can tell what it is without even having to look at the description. You can't imagine how frustrating it was to try and find a particular show without the laptop nearby. And to tell you the truth, my first officers, I guess he's in the military, always want to know what I'm doing when I open the laptop up at 41,000 feet only for a few seconds. And then he goes on to say that, though between a 3-hour show, a 2-hour nap, those transcontinental flights go really fast. So anyway, he just wanted to say thanks because what we did was start changing the way we title the, he sent me an email, asked if we'd do it, and I responded instantly, and so we changed the way we title our Sunday shows. It's now by topic. So, for example, when you find this episode in your iTunes tomorrow, it will say...
No topic.
Yeah, it'll say the shortest show ever. The shortest hangover show ever is probably what is something to that effect. Okay, and then another thing about iTunes that I want to bring up. This came through in an email also, and then I'll talk about it. It says, FYI, I've just noticed that iTunes inconsistently lists the podcasts from the BN, and I've subscribed to the Sunday Show and the Jameel Show. Jameel Show is especially difficult to find in iTunes. If the shows don't show up in iTunes, then I have to go to the archives and put the import the MP3 into iTunes themselves. So iTunes was working fine for a while with the Sunday Show and Jameel Show, and all of a sudden, in the last week or two, our shows have vanished from iTunes, and I haven't changed anything. It's all the same, and they're just not there. If you've already subscribed to the RSS feed then it works. It'll still download the show for you because I am subscribed just to make sure things are going, and that works. But if I go do a search for us, I can't find it anywhere. So I'm complaining to iTunes now and trying to find out why I've vanished, and I'm not really sure. Are you sleeping over there, Doc?
Almost not.
So I don't know what's up with the iTunes, but I am on it. So everybody, thank you for the comments and letting us know that there's something wrong with it. I'm trying to get them to fix it. We're not exactly high on iTunes priority list either, so they're not like jumping for joy to fix my problem. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will soon. And that's all the feedback I have for you.
I'm sure we're gonna have more next week.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot more next week. It's true. All right. So now that we've rambled on for a little while, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break.
We deserve it.
That's right. And when we come back, we're going to taste Daniela's beer.
If there should be any listeners left.
Yeah. And when we're done with that, the show is over.
We're going to talk about the GABF, though.
That's right.
It was a great trip, and I really want to get it out there how fantastic this event was.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the winners, who our favorites were, and give you just some of the scoop about our trip out to the GABF last week. It was a good time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're tuned to the Brewing Network, and this is the Brewcast.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
O sinner, do not stray from the straight and narrow way, for the Lord is surely watching what you do. If you approach the devil's den, turn round, don't enter in, lest the hand of the Almighty fall on you. He'll fuck you up. Yes, God will fuck you up if you dare to disobey His stern command. He'll fuck you up. Don't you know He'll fuck you up? So you better do some praying while you can. Long ago a man named Lot had a wife he thought was hot, but she could not stop her black and sinful ways. You know it was her own damn fault when God turned that bitch to salt. That's the way He used to work back in those days. He fucked him up. He really fucked him up. When the people went and turned their backs on Him, He can fuck you up. No shit, He'll fuck you up. Just like He fucked the people up back then. I used to have a friend named Ray who walked that evil way. He cursed and drank and broke his neighbor's fence. You know Ray was full aware that some sheep were over there, and he knew them in the biblical sense. God fucked him up. He went and fucked Ray up, went and paid him back for all his wicked sins. He fucked him up. Fucked that boy completely up. Now he's married to a Presbyterian.
I'm going to do this song in honor of the holiday we just celebrated, St. Patty's Day. It's my favorite holiday, and I learned a song in honor of it. It's an old Irish song. It's been passed down from generation to generation, from father to son, when the boy's on the verge of manhood. And it's called Down to the Old Pub Instead. Lad, it's your duty to find ye a lass with childbearing hips and a pink supple ass, and make her your wife and love her with love so true. Now some rivers run high, some rivers run low. When her river runs red, then she starts in her flow, and it's called menstruation, and here's what it means to you. You will not notice her bloomers are spotty at first. Stand back, her ovarian dam's gonna burst. Son, don't be afraid, it's a natural thing. Just wad up some cotton and hand her some string. Put the old linens on top of the bed. Get out of the house and go down to the old pub instead. She'll retain her water, her breasts will be tender, and every third word that you say will offend her. Get out of the house and go down to the old pub instead. And she'll want to make love. If you do, you're a fool, 'cause you'll only end up with a bloody O'Toole. Get out of the house, down to the old pub instead. And she'll want you to sample the fruit of her loins, but son, it'll taste like some old rusty coins. So turn off the light, boy, and take off your hat, and drop to your knees, say a prayer to St. Pat. Then he'll give you the strength to get out of the bed, and for Ireland's sake, go down to the old pub instead. Now the pub is the place where the lads are a-meeting, when the moon's full and the gals are a-bleating. The Catholic, the Protestant, even the pagan, the pub is the place when your lady is ragging. So drink of your pint, boys, and thank your shamrocks that as menfolk we don't have to bleed from our cocks. And that we can escape from the lady in red and get out of the house and go down to the old pub instead. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
And now, back to the Brewcasters.
That's what I need is some rock and roll. Get this show moving. That and we're drinking beer now, so things are going to get better. Tasting Daniela's beer that's going into the Queen of Beers. It's the first time we've had it, and what do you think, Daniela?
It's no award winner, that's for sure.
You don't think so, huh?
No. It looks great. The color is fantastic. I think the color is really good. It's nice and clear.
It smells like a Kölsch.
It does. I use Kölsch ale yeast, so the yeast definitely did its trick.
What do you think of it, Doc?
It's pretty clean. I think it's a little on the sweet side. It's not balanced enough.
Yeah.
Not enough bitterness.
Mm. And you upped the hops on this one, too, didn't you?
I did.
Yep, and it's...
Got to up it again.
Yeah, no, it's weird because compared to the first recipe, when I used the Cal Ale, I used even more hops this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I used it for a longer time, too. So it's funny that it wouldn't be as balanced as the first one.
Yeah.
That scored so well. It's all right. It's clean. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks nice, right? The color is good, though.
Yeah. A little bit of chill haze, huh? Tiny bit.
Yeah. But it's still pretty new, isn't it?
Yeah. It's young. So it could age better. Do you think it tastes like a Kölsch, Doc?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, so it'll fit in that style.
Yeah, it will. It's not terrible. It's decent.
It's not crisp enough for Kölsch.
Yeah,
but,
you're right.
It flows in there. You could probably even make maybe a cream ale out of it, but...
Yeah. Put it in a couple categories, see what happens.
Why not?
I don't know if you're going to take home another silver, but you never know.
Well, most likely not. But if I score over 29, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you, Doc, what happened to one of the carboys? Brewed 10 gallons. 5 gallons came out fine. The other carboy had a thick layer of...
some mung on there.
Really thick, though. It was like, I don't know, 2 inches, 3 inches.
Yeah.
And the blow-off tube, I had it in a chest freezer.
Yeah.
I chilled it down to 32 degrees so that I get the beer nice and clean. And it froze. So the blow-off tube froze. You know, the water where the bucket is in with the water, that froze. So that's the carboy that developed this really nasty layer. I don't know what it was. Do you think that could be contamination then?
Maybe. Or you had a blow off tube and a bucket of sanitizer.
Yeah, and the sanitizer evaporated and froze.
No, I think it probably got sucked up into the tube.
Really?
Yeah, because as everything cools, it creates a vacuum in there, and it'll pull it. So you might have had just sanitizer in there.
Well, what I tried to do is I just, when I was kegging or racking my beer, I just stick it right through this layer, and I tried not to get any of this layer into the keg.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't try any of that keg yet. I'm a little scared that it would, totally screw me up. But
give it to Justin first.
I know.
Yeah.
That's always a good. Maybe not tonight, but next weekend.
Chad would probably be good for that.
Yeah. Now there's a lesson to be learned here. Let's go back to this vacuum that you're talking about, because you then shouldn't use a blow-off tube in your refrigerator.
If you're going to be cooling it down.
Okay.
So if you start out with something warm, and you cool it down, it's going to create a pressure inside there, negative pressure. And it's going to pull. It'll empty your airlock.
Okay.
It's happened to me before.
Okay.
Or if you've got a blow-off tube and you cool down the carboy,
Yeah.
it'll create a vacuum and suck it all back in there.
Now that makes sense, because that's what it is. What it looks like. It looked like there was there's just some solution on top.
Looked like your Star Sand beer.
Yeah, it did, and in fact, it was.
At least there was some beer left in my carboy.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that it's warming up a little bit, it's not terrible, the beer.
That's what I asked you when you had a drink before I did, and I asked if it was really cold.
Yeah, it's a little cold.
It's in the chest freezer, so
it's getting a little better. It's definitely, it's not bad. I think it's definitely drinkable. I'm gonna drink it. It's much better than my last Bock, that's for sure.
It's not a bad beer, by any means.
Tell you, I got heartburn. I'm trying to swallow beer, and it's like I'm swallowing a rock.
I think you should definitely take a break of drinking. I think I want you to not drink for 5 days now.
Are you nuts?
No, I want you to do that. And if you don't do that, I'm gonna quit the show. And Doc is too, right, Doc?
Okay. Wait, I am too what? I am also quitting, or quitting beer?
I know you're responsible enough that you're not gonna get hammered tonight again, but I know this guy, so I need you not to drink for 5 days now.
That's insane. Oz, do you hear this nonsense? No, he was on the line a second ago, because I hung up on him. I think you've gone nuts, Daniela.
No, I think you almost died last night, so I think it's enough.
Oh, you just scared her a little bit.
Yeah, what the hell?
I think he made it back to the cabin on his own power.
That's right.
You don't know that. He got roofied. You don't know what happened in between. He came back very late.
It was better than I could do, because I couldn't make it back to the cabin. I had to have somebody take me there.
Some chick picked you up with her golf cart.
Yeah.
Oz, you hear this craziness?
Mate, when you went to bed, was your ass bleeding, or did it stop before you went to bed?
Well, he didn't have his underwear on.
Nothing wrong with my ass. My ass is just fine. You got to turn up your volume too. What's with Skype today? I can't hear anybody.
It must be you.
Yeah, I got it cranked though.
I can hear him. He's a little low, but I can hear him.
Let me try something else here. See if I can get you louder.
I'm all the way up.
Yeah, all the way up. Goes to 11.
This one goes to 11. There we go. That helps.
Is that better?
Yeah. So what's happening?
I just had a couple of questions for Doc Sanzo for the, 4th time in a row you haven't had a guest?
Yeah.
Did we not have a guest the last show?
Yeah, we did. We had Beth on.
Yeah, we had Beth on.
Oh, yeah, we had Beth on.
Not in a row, but yeah, we got a pretty good.
How dare you?
Pretty good run.
You must have really pissed somebody off.
I know. What's going on here? People are just they're like, sure, I'll do the show, and then they just forget about it, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta,
keep
on them.
That's right.
Keep on them.
Yeah.
We'll get him back.
Hey, Doc, I got myself an autoclave that I've been sterilising some starter wort up in.
Okay.
In mason jars. They're about, 600, 800 mils or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
What I found, though, is they're boiling over, which shouldn't happen inside an autoclave because it's all pressurised.
Right.
Am I doing something wrong here?
Don't fill them quite so full. And they should be okay. I've never had it happen, so I usually fill them about, leave an inch or a little bit more on the top of the mason jar.
Yeah, that's about what I've been doing. I'm just wondering, because I'm letting all the pressure out all at once. I've got a wet-dry autoclave. Now I'm just letting all the pressure out all at once, so I'm thinking the pressure's going out, but it's still over 100 degrees centigrade in there. Is that a possibility? Should I just let it go slowly?
Yeah, that's what I always used to do. I would just let it go slowly and come down, because when you do, because it's the same high pressure,
Yeah.
Inside there is inside your vessel, and then when you vent all that, it's going to vent the little mason jars too.
Yeah, so I should maybe just switch it off and let it come down by itself. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done that in quite a while. For a while, I was taking my boil kettle and I'd siphon off, or drain off everything I could that would go into the carboys. And then you always got the stuff left that's got a lot of hot break. It's got a lot of hop through, things like that. And I would there's probably another gallon in there. So I would put that in a gallon container. And then I put it in the refrigerator overnight, and it would actually just stratify, and all the break goes to the bottom, and it would leave quite a bit of wort left on top. And then I'd siphon that off into the mason jars, and then that would go into the autoclave.
Yeah.
And that way I didn't have to mix it up, and I didn't waste it, and it was a good way. Next time I needed to do a starter, I just crack one of the jars, and it's all done,
sterilized and everything. Yeah. That's a good idea. You got to learn how to vent your vessel.
Got to vent it.
Yeah, regularly.
Just not so vigorously.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, brother.
Cheers, mate.
See ya. All right. So let's talk GABF a little bit. It was our first time that we went there this year. And Doc, have you ever been to this festival?
Yeah.
You have been before?
Yeah, I was there 4 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
What else can you say?
Well, you guys had a really good trip out there too. You got to see the biggest ball of string and everything along the way. And
the largest crater. All that stuff.
Yeah, the largest yogurt cup.
Yeah, the world's largest house of noodles. All sorts of things along the way. That was the highlight of the trip there. It was cool. We went to a few breweries, and we took a lot of footage in the form of a digital videotape, and that's being edited now, so hopefully we'll get some usable material out of that. We stopped off at...
I want you to tell me about the Scary Brewery.
The Scary Brewery?
The one where I think they were trying to sell it, and you guys just...
Yeah, we didn't go. There was this weird brewery in Moab. We went to Moab Brewing Company, which was great.
Yeah.
And while we're in Moab, there's actually another brewing company. But it was a weird thing because on the website it said for sale. So we didn't know what we were going to find there. Like, would they care? Would they want to spend any time letting us come in and film and do it? Because if they're selling it, then what do they care? So turns out they haven't brewed there in years, and the guy's just closing it down and trying to get someone to buy it. So it wasn't even that scary. There was nothing happening.
You didn't get any beer?
Not from there, no. We got it from Moab Brewing Company instead.
Okay. No, I thought there was one place you and Jamil just had to choke one down.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Scary. When I ordered lemonade because I'm the only smart one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was scary.
So we're driving through Utah. This was on our way from Salt Lake City to Moab. And we went to two great breweries in Salt Lake City. We went to Uinta Brewing Company, which won a bronze medal, I think, at the competition for one of their beers. And we went to Squatters, another great brew pub, good beer. Anyway, we're on our way down, and just driving across Utah here, and we see a giant billboard that says, I'm trying to remember the name of this place. I got it all written down somewhere. I forgot about this story. I tried to erase this from my memory.
It was the hole in the wall in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, I'll figure out the name for you guys so you don't go here, and I'll put it in the form. So, but we see this huge billboard for it, and it says brewery. It's 50 miles down the road here, and then you take the exit. It's just off the freeway. So you go, okay, well, sweet. By the time we get done with 50 miles, we'll need a little lunch, and might as well make it a brew pub, right? So we get off the freeway, and we're driving through what I'm pretty sure is actually Hazard County. And we get to this quote-unquote brewery.
Which is as big as our studio.
And walk in, and that you're in the locals place when everybody who's in there, and it was all four of them, they just stare at you when you walk in. It's real small, and we open the door, and they just, stare.
It's we don't usually get people in here.
Yeah, right. At least not people with all their teeth. And I don't know if they were staring at Daniela, maybe they don't see too many pretty girls coming through these parts.
Pretty.
Or just that any new face gets stared at. So we go in, and, Jamil starts going through their beer. Is Jamil in the chat room there?
No.
By chance? Starts going through their beer selection, trying to figure out what to get a pint of. He takes a couple of tastes. and he knows instantly, like, oh man, this shit is awful.
You're in over your head.
Yeah,
there.
like this stuff's just awful, you know. But at that point, when it's tiny and everybody in the place can hear you as you're tasting them and ordering them, we had to order a pint. Like we couldn't taste and go, oh, this is shit. We're gonna leave now.
Right.
So we both ordered a pint. Well, come to find out, they don't brew there anymore either. And I asked the lady, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So, you know, who brews your beer now? And she says Budweiser.
Yeah, that's what she says.
She said Budweiser brews our beer now. And Jamil and I just look at each other like, are you friggin' nuts? Like, there's no way this... Because it was awful. It was terrible, awful, infected beer, right? So what I'm thinking... Like, Jamil and I are trying to figure that out, like, why this woman would say it's Budweiser. Probably the distributor is Budweiser, so there's probably a Budweiser truck pulls up and drops off her beer, and there's like a porter and a cream ale and a brown, you know, not Budweiser beers, so we're not talking... So it's probably a Budweiser truck that pulls up and drops the beer, so she thinks that Budweiser's the one who makes her beer.
Yeah.
This idiot.
Which is a terrible insult. You can say about Budweiser whatever, but their beer is, you know, it's a high quality beer in terms of being clean and not infected.
Right. So then she tries to sell me their brewing system that's not being used anymore. She's like, why don't you come back here and look at the brewery, you know, and maybe you'd like to buy it. And
I just came in here to drink some beer.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm too nice sometimes. Like, I gotta be polite. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I'd love to see it. It turns out it looks to me like it's just an extract. It's a small extract brewery because there's no mash tun or anything else. And I guess the guy's been trying to sell the thing for like 5 years and no one's picked it up. I gotta figure out the name of this because if someone's looking to pick up a cheap little brewery setup, I think you can score it from these guys.
I've been in a few of those small brew pubs where, you know, you're wondering, how do they even know about brewing beer?
Yeah.
I was in one, and we used the concentrate. I think he means extract. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We got the mash tun, but you know what? It was just too confusing, so we used the concentrate.
Concentrate. I love that.
And I asked him how many beers he has on tap. He says, well, we have 6 beers, but we only brew 3. We get the other ones by mixing the other 3 to get the other beer.
Man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I really like our beer. I mean, you can just drink it all day and not get a hangover or not get really hammered. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I want to know how many bars of this kind are out there in the world.
Yeah.
Where you just drive by. And the thing at this bar was, sometimes you know, you have those bars in the middle of nowhere, and actually the locals do hang out there and they eat because this bar has something very good about it. Like, you know, they serve you the commercial beer and they might not serve you the great beers, but they have a decent one. But they have like fantastic food or you know, like the waitress is really hot or
they have karaoke on Friday night.
They have karaoke or they have like a dance party or whatever. This bar didn't even attract too many locals because, you know, such areas are, at least in Germany, you would find somebody or like a few people hanging out there at 2 p.m. drinking beer.
Sure.
Wasn't too many people. They all seemed to be employees of this place.
They were, and they were all like pushed up to the bar. But they were employees. Like, as the lady's taking me to the back to show me the brew setup, she's like bitching at me, like, oh, they should be cleaning up back here instead of sitting at the bar.
See? There you go.
like it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, right.
It was gross. It was really nasty, actually.
But the thing is, like, it's this huge billboard. I'm not talking about a little wooden sign on the side of the freeway.
So what are they paying for this billboard?
Yeah, apparently not much. But they got a giant billboard, so we figure, hey, it can't be that bad. If they're spending money on a big billboard, yeah, we were wrong, man.
So wrong.
Yeah. So that was actually probably the only place we went to that was a negative experience. Although, in its negativeness, it's actually a positive experience because we got to learn, you know, about a place like that.
I got to learn that I really like cherry lemonade.
Yeah, they were fresh squeezing their lemonade. A lot of it, too. They must have been waiting for that lunch rush because they were squeezing lemonade like it.
Maybe they just expected me to want a refill or so.
Yeah. Like, we better make sure our one customer gets a refill if she wants one. Maggie, start squeezing more lemons.
You know what was awesome, though? My lemonade was 50 cents.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wish our beer should have only been 50 cents.
What did that cost you for a pint of
I don't know, a couple of bucks. It was cheap, too.
Actually, it was cheap. It was like $2.50.
Yeah.
Something like that. It wasn't worth it. It's terrible. That was our only bad experience, though, because all the other places were really great.
Did Jamil finish his beer?
He didn't. I finished his beer. He's like, here, you can finish mine, too. And I actually don't even think I finished the whole thing. We left about quarter glass in each one. Because they're just sitting there, like, staring at you, drink it. Like, we go sit down at a booth, and they're still talking to us from the bar. It's like a real small place.
Yeah.
Or you guys going to some kind of beer fest or something? And we're like, yeah, it's the biggest beer fest that's right around the corner here. Great. And they're like, yeah, I think I heard about that once or twice before. There's a brewery saying this. Or ex-brewery or something. And so, yeah, we couldn't just kind of like leave a full glass there is what I'm saying. Because they're like all staring at us and talking to us. And now they know that we're on this beer tour because we're talking to them. And that we're going to do this on the radio. We're going to talk about the places. So I especially can't be rude enough to go like, man, all I'm going to have to say about your place is that it sucks and nobody should go there. I hope the food's good, though.
Usually you expect, at such a bar, I usually expect a woman being the bartender who has a big beard, and Killer is just saying also a lot of tattoos usually. That's like the stereotypes. And you also expect them to be all brothers and sisters and still go to the sack together. That's what my fantasy was instantly.
Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's happening?
Hey, what's up?
Who we talking to?
Buzzcut.
Buzz, how are you, brother?
Good, yeah?
Good. So we met Buzz up, and that was our first stop at Silver Peak in Reno.
Buzz and his wife.
What do you guys think of that growler beer?
The one that we got?
Ooh,
yeah,
it was
you got
good.
the brown, right?
Yeah, ours was good.
Oh, mine was bad.
That's what I heard. I heard you saying that you got a bad beer. Ours was fine. I drank the shit out of it that night.
Bad how, Buzzcut?
I drank like 2 glasses, and I'm like, well, this is horrible. And then I called Mike, and Mike's like, oh, shit, Dan, I'm sorry about that. Bring it down. Gave me another growler of beer.
And it was fine then?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Well, that's weird.
Stout, though.
Yeah, because we got the same one, but ours was fine. It must have been in the growler. Maybe there was some infection in there or something that you got. But that's good. They took care of you. They gave you another one.
Oh, yeah, and then they were brewing, but then he was brewing up till about midnight, and then they closed the restaurant, and the head lady there is like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, well, I'm watching Mike brew. Oh, no, you're not. You're leaving now.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, well, when those places close, they're like, I want to get home. It happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, but I liked their beer. They had a lot of great beer, and we got some good footage of that place, too. In fact, those are some of the pictures that we used so far that we've posted.
The shiny ones.
Yeah, because they had really cool, fermenters and stuff in there. It was a really
Did
nice
you guys get to
setup.
go downstairs?
Just briefly. I didn't really check it out too much. I looked in the door. That's about it. But that's where they do all their storage, right?
Well, they do their storage and the grinding and all that.
Okay.
So they do it all.
It's a good place. Check out silverpeak.com. I think you can go there, or silverpeakbrewery.com, something like that. And if you're ever in Reno, I recommend going there. And then the other one, there's another one up there, Great Basin. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they won a gold at the...
That's right.
The GBAP or whatever the hell.
That's right.
GABF.
I'll tell you, I think we were a jinx because of all the we tried to pick breweries that were entering beers in the GABF, and the ones that we ended up having to skip, that were on our list, but we couldn't. We just kind of cut them because we were getting short on time. Those are the ones that won. The ones that we went to, except for Uinta, they didn't win. So I think we jinxed some people because Great Basin, which we had to cut off, they ended up winning a gold.
Did you try the Silver Peaks Scotch Ale?
I did.
And what'd you think of that?
I thought that was a really nice beer, too.
That is an excellent beer, isn't it?
A good Scotch Ale, that's right. Maybe, in fact, I bet Jamil will talk a little bit about it on tomorrow's show, because he's doing Scotch Ales for that, so.
Yeah, I'll be on my way to Concord tomorrow, so I won't listen to it.
All right. Well, you check it up on the archive.
All right.
Thanks, Buzzcut.
Hey, you guys have fun.
You too. We'll see you, brother.
Later.
That's a good dude. And yeah, we met Buzzcut and his wife Danielle, both very nice people, and had lunch with them there at Silver Peak. That was our first stop. And we went from there, we shot straight across all of Nevada to get to Salt Lake City. We shot right from from Reno to Salt Lake, and just in time to grab some dinner and pints at Squatters.
Oh, and that was fantastic. Female brewer at Squatters, not around unfortunately that night because she just had a baby a week ago or so.
Yeah, she just popped out a little bun.
Yeah, or that.
Ugly kid?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Another little ugly white kid for us to have to deal with.
Anyways, I want to point out that female brewer, and she had amazing lager beers. Jamil and I first ordered a Schwarz beer. Justin had a Vienna
lager. Yeah.
And the Schwarz beer was mine, and I also believe Jamil's favorite beer of the trip.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was perfect Schwarzbier, really very nice. Also their alt beer, so all their lager beers were really amazing. And the interesting thing about it is very low in alcohol. As you guys know, Utah has those very special laws about alcohol. So Jamil in particular was just really reconfirmed in his theory that you can really brew amazing good beers with good body and have a low alcohol beer. You don't have to go high in alcohol just to get good body.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to set up a show with some of those brewers because I think that the techniques that they use are really interesting in how they adjust the mash temperature and things like that so that they can still have a full-bodied beer. And I think it'll make for a good show to talk to some of these guys about how, I mean, because they do this, you know, like Moab Brewing Company. That guy was busy, and he has to brew a lot of beer just to keep it up in their brewery there, which was packed on both days that we saw it. And just the guy's real interesting in talking to us about how they do get those full-flavored beers. So, yeah, that'll be a good show. Now, there is a myth. You're allowed to actually have over 4% beers if they're in a bottle in Utah, but they're not allowed to serve them on tap.
That's not a myth. That's a fact. I mean, what you do is you bottle your beer. Achieve? Yeah, well, what they want is the state participates then in the whole beer distribution, because what the bars do or the breweries do is they bottle their beer, they sell it to the state, and then they buy it back from the state. So the state really has an eye on how many high alcohol beers are being sold in Utah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Isn't that interesting?
I know. Shake your head. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Well, someone's got to fund that Mormon church there. It's the beer guys who are doing it, I guess.
Anyways, it was interesting because Jamil and I also got talking because he knows that German-style lagers usually are low in alcohol compared to what the IPAs are, for example. And he thought that some of the lager beers you get here are just too high in alcohol for the style. And it was just amazing to see that it can work the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, so those were good breweries. And then we hit Kanawha Creek. That was our first brewery in Colorado. We hit it right there in Grand Junction as you're crossing the border, basically. Nice beers there. We didn't get to talk to the brewer. He was already on his way to GABF at that point. But they had a lot of nice beers. We did a sampler. You know, we try to do a sampler at all these places we go, of course. We want to try all their beers. And most of them were really generous and wanted to know what we thought of the beer and all that, and then spent some time, doing the tours with us and all that. So that was a lot of fun. So what we're going to do, like I said, is we got this video for it, and we're editing it up, and we'll let you see how it goes. We're not really focusing on the festival itself in the video. There'll be some shots, but there was actually some other really good coverage of that. You can search around, you'll find videos of the actual festival. Ours is more the road to it and the breweries we got to go to, and I think if the footage comes out, you guys are going to be real happy about seeing these breweries, because some of them were really impressive, and it was cool to be there. Let's talk about some of the winners. The breweries that won Brewery of the Year.
Well, yeah.
Large Brewing Company and Large Brewing Company Brewer of the Year went to Pabst. Pabst Blue Ribbon won Large Brewing Company of the Year. I thought that was interesting.
JP must have been jumping up and down.
Yeah, exactly. JP loves him some Pabst. Mid-Size Brewing Company and Mid-Size Brewing Company Brewer of the Year, New Glarus Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And they had a they had a booth there where you could, they were serving their beer, and there was a line around the whole place to get to their beers.
Yeah. They have some fantastic beer.
They do. And they don't distribute it.
They don't. No.
And that's what creates that demand. I think they're very smart for doing that. In fact, I think that Sean bought himself a case, when he was passing through there or something, just because he knew he's not going to be able to get it again. So that was cool. I'm glad that they won, because I've not had a bad beer from them. Every one of them is fantastic. So that was cool.
Also, highlight, category 22, American Style Specialty Lager. You know who that won?
Yeah, this is funny.
You were amazed by that too.
Yeah.
Mickey's Malt Liquor.
Yeah, Mickey's took a gold.
And now here's the story about the gold medals in the GABF. There's a special thing to it, right? A gold medal really does not mean it was the best beer of the entered ones. It means it has to be an exceptional beer. There was some categories where they didn't give away gold medals because it was not good enough. Mickey's is exceptional.
It was an exception. I think that it reads like exceptional world-class beer is what it has to be to give it a gold, and I guess Mickey's met that criteria. Caller, you're on the air. What's happening?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Mike. I'm Kuda from the forums over there.
How are you, Mike?
Hey, good. I'm doing great. Just called to check in. I've been brewing some beer for a couple months now, and just went down to Magnolia's this weekend and had a great time.
Yeah, did you like the beer there?
You know what? Dave makes some great beer.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, he does. I got a couple questions though.
Go ahead.
I love his cask conditioned ales, but if Doc is Doc there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a couple questions on the cask conditioned stuff.
Okay.
What compared to normal, beers? What's different about the cask ales compared to the regular ales?
Are we talking barrel aged?
No, Dave just got some. I mean, he does stuff that's both. He's got just regular draft stuff, and then he's got his cask stuff. I mean, it's obviously a little bit warmer, less carbonation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that the only difference?
Well, they don't pressurize it. They'll serve it with whatever it is, and they naturally carbonate it too.
Yeah.
What is the cask? I mean, is it compared? I mean, because I usually do corny kegs. I've never done. To tell the truth, I've only been brewing for 2 months.
Oh, all right.
But I got to thank you guys because it's mostly you guys that have been making me, make great beer. I'll have to give you guys that.
Hey, thanks, brother. I'm glad we could help.
Yeah, I got about 50 gallons under my belt so far in 2 months. So.
Wow.
And I skipped the bottle stuff because all the forums and stuff said it's just a hassle, so I went straight to kegs. So, anyways, I had the cask stuff and it was great. I was just wondering what the difference was.
I remember talking to him about that too, and I don't remember what he told me because I'd asked him if he was doing barrel, and he said no. But
yeah, I didn't get any oak out of it, so
no.
I mean, it wasn't anything like that. I mean,
no, I think it's just how he handles it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have to check back with him because I did ask that specific question.
Yeah,
and he did tell me, and I just don't remember.
Huh, yeah,
Doc Stone too.
Yeah.
I noticed it was kind of cool because they had a difference between cask. They had a couple of beers that were different between cask and regular draft, and you could taste the difference. So
yeah,
I went with a group of about 15 people. So all of us ordered different beers, and so I had a chance to taste pretty much everything that was on the menu.
Yeah,
and everything was great except for I'm a real big fan of the the wit beers.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a little hoppy, but it could be me. The fact that I had the IPA right before.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So that could have set me over the top.
Yeah. Hey, how many gallon batches are you brewing?
5.
Okay.
5.
Because I'll tell you what you could do. I mean, basically, conditioning the beer really changes it. So if you were to split a batch, and you naturally carbonated one of those, kegs, and you force carbonated the other one, you would.
I don't think I can wait that long.
Well, you'd taste a difference, and you'd start answering your own question about the difference in those beers at Magnolia, because it really is different when you prime a beer and naturally carbonate it like that. In essence, cask conditioning it. Then force carbonating it. It does, change it. And it might not be it might be subtle differences, but it's different, so you should try splitting a batch if you get a chance, you'll be able to tell the difference.
I actually got one more question. I sat down to Toronado there, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
if anybody gets a chance to go down there, you got to take a chance to go down there. That place is just off the hook.
Agreed.
I tried Pliny the Elder, of course. that's the first beer I have because I just want to take a taste of sample of that. But I got to give props to Russian River.
Yeah.
Vinny is amazing. I tried some of their bottles. I tried the Temptation.
Yeah.
It's the strong blonde with the Chardonnay barrel with the Brettanomyces. Oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah, all Vinny's beers are great. He's got a new one coming out too.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got another one he was telling me about.
I got to get up there. I live just up in El Dorado Hills up here.
Okay.
So not too far away from you guys.
Yeah, you got to get there, man. Go to his place because he puts a lot more on tap. So you got to check it out. He won a bunch of medals at the GABF too.
Oh really?
So, yeah. All right, is that going to do it for you, Kuda?
Yeah, that's pretty much. One question. I made some root beer for the kids there, and everybody says once you go root beer, don't go back, and the corny's there. What's the deal with that? Is that just the gaskets, or
it's just
don't do it? But they never gave me a reason why.
It's the gaskets and your beer line, and it just gets that taste in there from the root beer. It's usually that wintergreen flavor.
So just just mark the beer line pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
if I gaskets, obviously that's not a big deal. So just make sure you got a special beer line because the kids love it. You know.
Yeah, you just dedicate that one corny to it all the time. But yeah, it's just it gets into the gaskets and it gets in your beer line too. Be a little careful too with your manifold for your CO2. If you don't have a check valve on it, your pale ale is going to taste like root beer.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, that'll give it some off flavors, won't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Thanks, Kuda.
Okay.
All right, brother. Take care.
On this note, of course, Pliny won gold.
Yeah, of course.
Out of,
It's an
I think-
exceptional world-class beer.
I think out of almost 60 entries, he took gold again with the Pliny.
I think there was like 89.
No. I think it was 57.
Oh, is that
But
right?
I think it was category 40, Imperial or double IPA.
Oh, that's right. Because it was the
Yeah.
regular IPA category that
That
had
so many.
89 entries.
That was interesting anyways to see, you guys can check it out too, on the homepage they have now all, the Great American Beer Festival, they have the winners list there.
Yeah.
And they give you how many entries per category. It's
Yeah.
interesting to see how IPA is dominating the entire festival.
Yeah.
It amazed me because, IPA has 80, 90 entries. Some categories, lager beers have like 20,
Yeah.
25.
Firestone's IPA took something not in an IPA category, in some other category. They got themselves a medal too. I do want to mention this one, the Small Brewing Company of the Year and Small Brewer of the Year, Bear Republic, right up here in Healdsburg.
Yeah. They took some medals.
They took a bunch of medals. They were real excited. They brew great beer. I've been a fan of theirs since I started drinking craft beer. Basically, first time I had their Racer 5 IPA. Whew, that's a damn fine IPA.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job with that.
So we're going to be up there next Saturday, actually. I'm going to try to get a little chat with the brewer, Rich, his name, and talk to them just about, how he feels about being the brewmaster of the year there.
Yeah, we got the tour from the dad.
Okay.
It's kind of a family run.
Yeah, it's
thing.
all family, yeah.
And the dad took us all around. Dad's not a brewer, but he's a schmoozer. But I was trying to get some secrets out of him, but
nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Ah.
I was surprised with was the Medium Brewery. Is it the Pelican Bay?
Yeah. No, actually, that was their large brew pub.
Yeah.
Large brew pub was Pelican Pub and Brewery in Pacific City, Oregon.
I was there last summer.
Oh, yeah?
And you just keep going out to the coast, Oregon coast, and there's like this little sort of a town out there. And then this place is right on the sand.
Oh, okay,
and
nice.
But it's like, it took me an hour to get there.
Yeah.
From Portland or more. And why would they put this out there?
Right. How was the beer, though? Was
it was pretty good.
Worth the trip?
Yeah. And actually they were brewing when I was there, but.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it just amazed me. They're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out on the coast. It's like, okay.
So check it out. You can go to beertown.org and have a look at it yourself and get the whole list of winners. It was really an exciting time. I recommend going to this thing. It was great to meet the listeners. We met H2 out there.
Mr. Henning.
Mr. Henning out there.
Offensive CJ.
Met offensive CJ.
He showed us after a couple of hours how offensive he can be.
Yeah. Bug Eater.
One Eye.
One Eye. Yeah. A bunch of listeners out there. It was cool. I apologize if I've not. Rich was there. Nothing personal if I don't mention your name. I just,
You're just hungover.
Yeah, I'm just hungover, exactly. But it was really cool to meet everybody, and it means a lot to us when we get to meet the people, and they're always thanking us, and I feel like actually thanking you for tuning in and listening and keeping us doing this every week.
Absolutely.
And that felt that was real cool. One guy. So check this out, Doc. I about cried about this guy. It just warmed my heart, We go out to Golden City Brewing Company, and we actually did a brew with them in Golden City. They're called the other Golden City's other brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so we brew there, and a few listeners came out, and we met some new people who had never listened before. They just were there tasting beer, and so we're running around doing our thing, and we're filming, we're shooting the whole thing, and I see a guy, he's hanging out in their beer garden, and he's kind of watching what we're doing. I just figured he's checking it out because, anytime you got people running around with cameras and stuff, you're always wondering what's happening.
Yeah, what's going on?
And he sat there, I saw him there, and he sat there for like an hour or something, right? And then we're about to leave, Jamil and I are walking away, and then he comes up, and he's like, hey, Justin, I just wanted to shake your hand and say thank you for the show, and I brought you this, and he gave us a bag of beers. He gave us like 3 beers, one of his own, or 4, one of his own, and 3 that, you know, we wouldn't normally be able to get, cause he's from that area, and just went and handpicked them. And then he's like, I just didn't want to bother you. You know, we said, you should have come in, we done the brew session with us, the whole thing. He's like, I didn't want to bother you. You know, and he sat there and he waited, and he just came up. He said, "I just want to say thanks for the show." And I'll tell you what, that means a lot. Like that really means a lot. That a guy, enjoys the show enough that they take the time out. They come out there at their own time just to thank us for doing it.
And he sat around for an hour.
And he sat around, anyway, it was really cool to meet guys like that and everybody because people are real good to us, man, and it was cool. So, cheers to all of you. Prost. It was good to meet you, and it was fun, and we'll be doing it again. I think we'll have to do more listener gatherings in the future.
I mean, we're going to the East Coast soon, so maybe we can set up something there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to I alluded to that in the newsletter, which came out on Friday. We are doing an East Coast trip. I gotta go see some family, I gotta see my new, what is he, my nephew?
He's your nephew.
Yeah. I never know what's what. So my nephew, I gotta go out, my brother's kid, and my folks, my dad. So we're going out there, and we're gonna be doing some brewery stuff there too, to be determined. I'll keep you guys posted. But I'd like to set up some listener gatherings. We'll try to be figuring that out in the next, couple of weeks so that we can get it all planned out, and we'll see you out there. So, that's about it. I did send out 2 versions of the newsletter. I know a lot of people for some reason couldn't open anything. I don't get it. Like some people was fine, others they didn't. So I sent you all a link too. You can just link right up to it. I think I screwed up a couple of the links on there, like the old, I tried to link up to all the wallpaper that Andy Kilroy's done for us, from the, Where Drunk Meets Genius comic strip he does.
It was a Vinnie Puppet this time, right?
It's a Vinnie Puppet wallpaper this time, and I don't know, I think I messed up the links. So if I did, I'll double check it. I'll post those things in the forum. So if you really want the new wallpaper, you gotta see it, Doc. It's funny. Yeah. Our new, laptop wallpaper's got the Vinnie Puppet on it. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. So you got to get over there and sign up for the newsletter, and it keeps you informed. And although the information was inaccurate this time, I told you Friday we're going to be talking to Christian from Ulfabricken today. And
what can you do? Somebody gets stuck on a boat.
So if you are just tuning in and wondering why we're just rambling with no guest, our guest is stuck on a boat.
I have a brewing related question for Dr. Scott.
Go ahead, please.
So, Dr. Scott, can I make a mini beer on the stove, about 1 gallon, of chocolate and cherries, and then add it to my dry stout in the secondary to make chocolate cherry stout?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't see. Yeah, I'd like to know how they're going to do it.
You want to know afterwards?
No, but beforehand, just what they're making the mini beer on there. Yeah, what the process is.
Didn't tell me so far.
But that wouldn't be a bad way to do it. I wouldn't dump it all in there. I would put some in there and see how much you need to put in there, and a little more till you get it where you want, instead of just figuring what you want and dump it in there and overdoing it.
Good idea. Or if you got 2 kegs of it, you do one different than the other and see which is better too.
Yeah,
right?
so whenever you're adding stuff to your beer, you got to be careful on not overdo it.
Yeah.
If you overshoot it, it's real hard to get it back the other way.
Here's another question for you, Doc. Come from the chat room. Is it really necessary to add priming sugar to the corny keg? And I guess this depends on how you're going to carbonate that bad boy.
Right. No. You got to put some kind of fermentables in there. A couple different things you can do. The thing I did on the hef last was, when I was done with the boil and I cooled everything down, I only put all but about 1 gallon into the fermenter and fermented that, and I kept the other gallon out in the chest freezer cold.
Yeah.
Then I added that back into the corny and racked on top of it, and then I closed it off. And that actually makes it a lot nicer than using DME.
Yeah.
You can use corn sugar, you can use DME. You're going to need a little more DME than the corn sugar. So it doesn't have to be sugar. There's a lot of other things you can do.
Now, what about those, I've heard of brewers capping off their fermentation, so they'll actually stop the blow-off tube, right? They'll cap it early before it's entirely done fermenting, so that they can retain some of that CO2 to carbonate it that way.
Yeah, that works too.
So you could do that, but
you have to do the math a little bit ahead of time, because you need to know how many Plato you need left.
Right.
Put in, so you got to monitor it.
Yeah, I can't do that if I have to do math.
Yes, it would be
forget it.
Take this caller. It's a brewing-related question.
All right, caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going real good. Who are we talking to?
This is Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Tim Fisher too, I guess.
The guy who gave us the shirts at the
Oh,
GABF.
Matt, thanks for the shirts, brother.
Hey, just a quick question. There's been discussion at my beer club and on the forums about whether or not you can use an aluminum brew kettle.
Okay, Doc?
For the longest time, everybody would say, no, don't use it. But the more stuff I see now out there is it's okay.
Yeah.
It's certainly cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it's better in that it distributes the heat a lot better. Because stainless steel doesn't distribute heat very well, so all that burner is right wherever that is, that's where it's hot. Or if you have an aluminum pot, it actually spreads the heat out a lot more. So if you got a lot of money, you can get a aluminum clad bottom on your stainless steel pot.
Oh, right.
It's real expensive, but it does, distribute the heat a lot better.
Yeah.
But from more and more what I've read, as long as the oxide layer is on there, you're good. So you don't want to scrub it with your stainless steel scrubby brush and then throw beer in it.
Got to keep it sealed.
Yeah.
This is a doctor's opinion too, I guess.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean,
Does BN have malpractice insurance?
No, if you guys ever decide to sue us, you'll get a couple of microphones and a mixer. That's about all we got here, so I'm not too worried about that.
All right.
Hey, did you have a good time at GABF?
Oh yeah, man. I was exhausted when I got home though, but it was great. I mean, I must have tried 50 beers.
Yeah, that's the best part. In the beginning, when I found out that they're only doing these 1 ounce pours, I was like, well, that's kind of cheap, what if you want a half a pint or something? I ended up being so thankful that they were 1 ounce pours, because you really got to try a bunch of different beers that way, without getting all beered out.
Did you guys get a chance to try the malt liquor?
No.
10.2% malt liquor. It was actually not bad.
Who made it?
Gosh, they were over by Pabst, and I just don't remember, so it didn't stick with me. But
and it was good, huh?
Yeah, it was smooth,
Yeah.
And
see, I only drink my malt liquor out of a paper bag.
Get the freeway bag going.
Yeah.
down in the park, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, Danielle.
Happy birthday. Happy late birthday.
Thank you, Danielle.
Oh, there you go. Happy. How old did you turn, Matt?
29.
Is that right?
Last Sunday, yeah.
Isn't that a magical number? 29.
Wow.
Happy birthday, brother.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll see you. Good dude there. Matt actually wrote that article in Zymergy, too, about us. Appreciate that. I think I bashed him for it on the show. Didn't mean to. It was a good article. And then he showed up he made these great shirts for us.
Tell them what they say.
Yeah, so my shirt says, I'm an over-the-top FM DJ. It's got the Brewing Network logo on it, so it's cool. So I can wear it to promote, too. And then Daniela's says, in German, I'm with stupid. And then, of course, the arrow pointing over at me. Ha. But they're awesome, actually. They're really cool. And I think there's a picture of them in the forum if you go.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Okay. So if you go to Beer Radio, you can see what we're talking about. It's under there. Thanks for that, Matt. That was cool. Another good listener. It was great to meet. Okay. I think that's it, folks. We're going to wrap things up here. Next week is going to be an exciting show, and I can't really say anything about it because Doc's sitting right here.
Yeah, he's scaring me. He won't tell me anything about it.
So, I did write a little bit about it in the newsletter. So, Doc, if you got the newsletter, don't read it. So don't do no newsletter for you.
Okay.
All right?
I promise.
So, check that out for more information. Plus, I'll post things on the website. So also don't look at our you can look in the forum, Doc.
Okay.
But don't look at our homepage this week. Just in case I have to post further information that I don't want you to know about. Okay?
You're scaring me.
So, but it's going to be a fun show. It's Doc's birthday next Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. And we've got a good show planned for you. So, don't worry about all this, guests being stuck on boats nonsense for next week. We're going to have a good time. It's really going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that show. And, glad Doc's spending his birthday with us.
Yeah, I thought it would be nice to do the show on my birthday.
Yeah. You want to read this question, Daniela?
Yeah. Ask it.
Here, I can't understand your writing today. I think I'm still stoned.
Okay, well, I'm trying to write this. Doc, if I use pure O2 to oxygenate through an air stone, is it possible to get me the partial pressure to oxygen too high so that will affect the yeast gas exchange? This is how I received the questions, by the way.
That's fine.
Was that it?
No, you're okay. Just remember, the pure O2, you're only going to get up to the saturation level in the liquid anyway. So it shouldn't be a problem. And it dissipates, and the yeast eat it all up. So I wouldn't worry. You're not doing it under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing it sealed, corny, and then pumping oxygen into it, you might have an issue with that. But don't worry about it. You won't get that much in solution. I mean, if you're getting up there, I think it was 12 ppm, maybe. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll be able to get up that far.
All right.
And the last question of the day for the good dog. 1.110 OG Scotch Ale has stuck at 1.063. 2 weeks now. It still tastes clean, just too sweet. So should I pitch new yeast or should I just wait it out?
I would check it in a week and see if it drops any. One guy in our club did a really big Scotch Ale like that, and I think it ended at 1045.
Wow.
But he got kudos and big marks for that. But it came down from a really high original gravity.
Really?
And it wasn't that sweet either. So
you got to wait it out a little bit.
I would wait it out a little bit, give it a week, and see if it drops any. You can try repitching.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't leave it where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would try something before I gave up on it and said good enough.
Yeah.
So repitching wouldn't be a horrible idea. I would pitch big, do a big starter and repitch.
All right. Have you ever brewed mead, Dr. Scott?
Long time ago I did one. Right now I do have 60 pounds of honey waiting to do a mead soon.
Are you going to use wine or beer yeast?
I will probably. I don't like champagne yeast in the mead. Sometimes it just gets it too dry for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough because it could be easily too sweet too. There's a lot of guys talking at a mead lecture this last weekend, so got a lot of pointers from those guys.
Yeah, it was one of the theme of this year's NCHF was the Renaissance, basically,
mm-hmm.
And so mead was focused on quite a bit. Some good meads there. Pomegranate mead.
That was a good one.
Nice one there.
Yeah, there's a lot of meads.
Yeah.
I prefer the dry meads, I've noticed yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Sweet, that's it.
All right, what do I got for you? A few thank yous to be done here. If the audio is coming through clearly on your end, that is thanks to one of our faithful and generous listeners sending us a new compressor to solve our problems from last week. It looks like it's working over here, so I'm just hoping that it's working over there.
Right.
And I want to give a great big thank you to the listener who sent that to us. That's very, very cool of you.
That's Parker.
And yes, and you saved a lot of listeners from having to hear us cut out all show long. So
yeah, thank you.
That was very cool. I put that in, and seems to be working well. Another thank you on a personal note, Push. So this is cool, Doc. You're gonna like my selection here. Push, he just gave me a little, gift certificate for my birthday. It was very cool. You guys are all so generous to us, man. And so I wanted to say I bought some brewing books with it. So I figured I'd share that with you guys, so you know what's on my reading list for the next couple of months, cause I used that to buy some books that I've been wanting for a while. I got, Stan Hieronymus's book, Brew Like a Monk.
That's a nice one. I've only thumbed through it, so I haven't gotten to sit down and read it.
Well, I'm getting so into the Belgian beers now and the lambics and everything that I've been wanting to read this book, and I hear that it's one of the most definitive ones about the Trappist Abbey and strong Belgian ales, and hoping to learn how to. I can't even get my pale ale right. I'm ready to start jumping into these Belgians. But hey, it can't hurt to try. I also got the book Wild Brews under the same publication as the other. Have you read this one at all?
No.
This is Beer Beyond the Influence of Brewer's Yeast. So just another, sort of creative, crazy beers. And the last one I got, I want to interview Sam Calgione. He doesn't even know yet. Dogfish Head Brewery. I got to contact him. I want him to come do the show, so I got his book. Do a little background research too. He's got this entrepreneurship book, Brewing Up a Business. So I'll read that. I'll give you guys a review on it if you're interested. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and tell you what I think about the books, so you can decide if you want to go pick them up yourselves too. But I want to thank Push for that, because the money got well spent on all these brewing books, and maybe I'll learn a thing or two and be able to talk about it.
That's a tall order for you.
I can dream, right?
Yes.
So that's cool stuff, and thanks very much. I do apologize that our guest is stuck on a boat today, but these things happen. What we'll do is, I don't know, maybe we can reschedule a phone interview with him. He'll be back in Denmark, as I understand it. He's only here, I think, until tomorrow, so it's unfortunate that it didn't work out, but I do apologize. Like I said, we'll try to talk to him over the phone and get him back in here. I do have the Mead Show planned for you guys later this month. That's
cool.
Also in the newsletter. Stay tuned to the website to find out about that. That'll be fun for us, I think. A lot of buzz going on in the mead industry right now, so that'll be cool. The last thing is, please go and check out the 1 Hour Boil. It's our new podcast here at the Brewing Network, and the first one that we've done is with John Palmer. And I was real happy with the interview. I think John's a great guy and had a lot of good information and good things to say. So check that out. You just have to go to the Brewing Network store. It's a small fee. It's $2.50. It helps us, generate new programming and pay the bills around here and keep things running. So, go check it out. I'm proud of it. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. I'm pretty damn sure you guys are going to like the podcast. So check it out. Just go to the Brewing Network store. All right, Daniela, everything's good?
I am fantastic.
Okay. I think we're going to go drink some beer and try to...
No. 5 days.
Nah, you can forget
Or
it.
I'll quit.
Hey, you can forget
I'm going to quit then. That's it, my last show.
You're not going to.
Good night.
I'll just lie to you. I'll tell you I haven't drank. You're going to drive me to lying. Is that what you want?
You're such an ass clown.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Trust me, it's going to be fun next Sunday, all right? So you're going to want to tune in. Come on back for that to help us celebrate with Doc for his birthday. All right, everybody? Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'll have me one right now. Give me a wheat beer on a hot summer day. A box will do me when the skies are gray. I'll take a Belgian brew anytime, and the women sing the lambic fine. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love it that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'm the one right now. Cherry stout, yeah, you know what I am talking about. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love it, that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all the time. Yeah, I think I have that.